Chapter 30 introduced the Western world after the wars. The Soviet Union went through a revolutionary era where Mikhail Gorbachev became the leader in 1985. The foundation of Gorbachev's reforms was perestroika, which meant that reforming the economy meant political and social reforms as well. He removed the Communist Party to be the leading party from the constitution, and this soon led to the disintegration of the Soviet Union. When Russian President Boris Yeltsin was replaced by Vladimir Putin in 1999, Russia experienced a budget surplus and a growing economy. Communist order collapsed in Eastern European nations such as Poland, Czechoslovakia, and Hungary as well by 1989, and these nations soon joined the NATO alliance. In Germany, the Berlin Wall came tumbling down in 1989, and when the Christian Democrats took over, they united East and West Germany as one.
Wars in Bosnia and Kosovo against Yugoslavian President Slobodan Milosevic introduced ethnic cleansing. Germany reunified in 1990, but resentments still existed between the two sides. In 2005, Angela Merkel became the first female chancellor in German history. Britain went through a series of new prime ministers following Margaret Thatcher's resignation. France shifted between right and left-wing politics while resentment against immigrants increased. Berlusconi, Monti, and Letta each served as Italian prime minister for a couple of years. The EU established many new policies, and many nations gained EU membership during the early 2000s. Bill Clinton served as president of the U.S. from 1993 to 2001. George W. Bush was president from 2001 to 2009. Barack Obama was elected in 2008 and re-elected in 2012. The argument over Quebec's possible secession from Canada continued.
The ascension of Gorbachev to power brought the end of the Cold War, which allowed for greater autonomy and led to many revolts against communism. The Persian Gulf War showed the new relationship between Americans and Soviets, and towards the end, the Soviet Union fell apart. Terrorism used the killing of civilians to bring attention to their demands, and one of the worst attacks in the U.S. happened on September 11, 2001, where 4 planes were hijacked and crashed. War in Afghanistan started as the U.S. government tried to force the Taliban out, and Iraq was accused of helping terrorists and faced a war with the U.S. as well. The number of women in the workforce continued to rise, and they had access to better education and even better jobs. There were movements for rights for contraception and abortion, and they reached out to women in other parts of the world. Governments would bring over guest workers from other countries due to a shortage of labor. However, these workers faced racial discrimination and were unwelcome. There was a rise in fundamentalism and a growth in Islam, and John Paul's travels strengthened the Christian faith in many. 2013, the first Latin American pope was elected.
New expressionism art movement took off, and government censorship of the arts increased. Grunge, hip-hop, rap, and pop music gained popularity in the 90s music industry. The digital age brought a revolutionization of communication, and Apple gained immense popularity for its products. Music production, visual arts, and video game and film industries thrived with their increased quality and appeal. Globalization and multiculturalism brought awareness of international interdependence. A global economy emerged, and the European debt crisis began as a result with the fall of the U.S. housing market in 2007. Concerned scientists observed global warming's threat to the environment. Xenophobia and discrimination has become prevalent against populations migrating for political or financial reasons. There is an obvious disconnect between first world developed countries and third world developing nations. Though international conflict is unavoidable, numerous social movements have erupted alongside non-governmental organizations.
Synthesis. Terrorism over a decade later continues to be a huge problem in the U.S. and around the world. In 2015, a total of 11,744 terrorist attacks occurred worldwide, resulting in over 28,300 deaths. Terrorist attacks included a bombing in Manhattan on September 17, 2016, and a shooting attack in Florida Airport on January 6, 2017, and many more across the country. Thank you for watching our video.